Good morning. Welcome back. Let's get this money on this beautiful Wednesday. Yes, sir. Love that. Love the vibes. Get money. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the stream. Yeah. Good news for Google. Not looking good for NVDA AMD, which is good. I'm happy about that. Definitely looking to target those today. That's definitely a target. And the IG story. Yeah, if you guys are part of the chat, you know before the market and after the market got some good jams going. Go follow me on Instagram. Do I speak some Italian? I know the curse words. That's about all that my grandma and my it's about all that my grandparents and my parents taught me. What are the curse words? Yeah, unfortunately, I'm really upset. That's one of the biggest things that I get upset about my parents, is that they did not take time to teach me Italian. They all speak it. Whenever I go to New York, they're all speaking Italian. My whole family, they're fully Italian. My grandparents can barely speak English, and they never taught me. It sucks, as I would love to be able to do it. I'm actually taking classes to learn Spanish at the moment. I want to learn another language. I think that's a big goal of mine. I think that'd be really fun, really cool to be able to do that. So that's one of my little goals. Gabagol. Yeah, I have Duolingo. I've been using that as well, Carla. Never too late to learn. Yeah, I think so. I think that's something I can learn if I take my time, if I take time to do it. So, welcome back, guys. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Yo hablo español. I know a decent amount of Spanish. I know, I don't know a lot, but I can get around. I can do the easy stuff, but I want to be fully bilingual. That'd be cool. Raise your hands. Lavate los manos. I know that. Five languages. Wow, Gareth. Holy crap. That's sweet. Do I live stream in Spanish? Yeah, I wish. That'd be cool. All right. Wait a little bit for some people to jump in. We'll wait 2 more minutes. Gain seems low. Raise it up, Ty. Raise it up. Nothing's changed on my end. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably just speaking a little lower today. I have Italian in my blood too, and that's where I'm going to retire, in Italy. That's awesome, Carla. I am a bad Italian. I've never been. That's definitely another thing that I need to do is visit Italy. Una más cerveza, por favor. Sí. All right, guys. Well, let's get started. Welcome back. Hope everyone had a, ¿cómo se dice downside in español? You guys are good. So hopefully you guys had a good day yesterday. Waited for like the first, I don't even know, it was like 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes for a trade yesterday. Finally caught that Tesla bear flag, and after that, I was out of here. After a little bit of lower than wanted confidence lately, if I could take one good trade on a day, if I could nail something like I did on Tesla yesterday, that was an absolute snipe. That was it, right? As soon as I took that trade, as soon as it worked out for me, I knew, get up, get out of your seat, go outside, do something else, right? Get that confidence back, take that one trade, take that win. That was really my day yesterday. So I literally just traded Tesla yesterday, and after that, I was out of here. I was watching the futures, I was watching the market, but I refused to take another trade, so I am happy about that. Yesterday, I made a video. If you guys want to check that out, yesterday I made a video about a really important level that you need to be paying attention to on the S&P 500 futures. This is a level that no matter if you're bullish, you're bearish, if you're a trader, you should be paying attention to this level. It's a monster level above. It's a previous rejection point on the weekly chart, on the daily chart. And we'll look at it here on the live stream, but a very, very important level to be paying attention to. And, it needs to sort of influence the way you look at the market right now, right? This is going to be a big supply, and, and we've seen a really big push into it. Do we need a pullback? Yeah, I think I don't see anything wrong with a pullback at this point. A pullback at this point would not be perceived as a big bearish move in my eyes. It would be pullback that is healthy, that is necessary. So off this level, it makes a lot of sense, but hey, right? That's what I'm thinking, but that doesn't mean that the market's going to do this. That's why we have to come into every day without a bias, understanding our levels, trading off the key levels, and setting up trades off of them. So let's do that again today. Let's look at some levels. Let's look at some individual stocks. We'll take out the economic calendar. Some news this morning on Google, which is definitely sort of influencing Google this morning, and some others as well. So yeah, good stuff. Let's get started. Press that like button if you could before we get started, so that we don't have to dig for them later. And all right, let's do it. So April 5th. Let's pull up the economic calendar. Let's take a quick look at that here. And again, guys, remember, this is a short week. So today is today's basically a Thursday, right? The market is closed on Friday. So today is the second to last week of the trading week. What do we got on the ad today? Beach House Suites by the Don Cesar. Escape to the sweet life. All right. I'll do it. April 5th, ADP in the morning here in about, 8 minutes? So 8 minutes, we got ADP employment report. We'll see how that comes out. U.S. trade balance at 8:30. S&P final U.S. services PMI at 9:45, and then ISM services at 10. So we got some stuff here. We got some stuff in the pre-market before the market opens, right? 8:15, 8:30, U.S. trade balance, ADP employment, and then 15 minutes after open, PMI, and then 30 minutes after open, ISM. So we'll see if there's any movement here. We'll see if there's any movement on these economic events. That's really all we can do, right? Just be aware of them, understand that they're there, see what the reaction is, and try to make a play off of it. So 9:45, 10 o'clock, that's the stuff that comes in after the market opens. And then tomorrow, the last trading day of the week, we have jobless claims as usual, and we have Bullard speaking at 10 a.m. All right? So that's our economic side. Really nothing on the earnings side. So let's just go back to the calendar. NVIDIA, AMD. This is what we're going to start with. You see a little bit of weakness on those names this morning. I think this is likely due to, one, a technical breakdown on the two stocks, a very key level break, and then two, Google. A little bit of news this morning about Google thinking that their semiconductors can be better than the NVIDIA semiconductors. I don't know how much truth there is behind all that, but it's an event. It's not an event. It's an article that was released, and it seems to be affecting the stock a little bit. So Google moving higher this morning, NVIDIA, AMD moving lower. We're going to look at both of those. Meta staying hot. Meta has not slowed down. Meta is continuing to make higher highs, higher lows. We'll take a look at Meta today. Tesla, it's really around 194.50, so I do need to sort of change the analysis I provided, but this very key level on Tesla, 194.50, this 193 supply area needs to be watched today. Microsoft moving up into a huge 290 level on the daily chart. This is a swing trade that I'm sort of interested in. The risk reward's really good. If the market does have a little bit of a pullback from this point, I do want to see how Microsoft does. I also want to see if Microsoft gets affected to the downside from this Google news today. That's something I'm interested in. So Microsoft 290 supply is big. You guys know we were looking at that Home Depot 300. That rejected really harshly yesterday. So we did not get into that gap that we talked about. We never got over 300, and this is why this trade never set up. So we can keep a watch on it, but I want to point out how we rejected that key 300 level. And then finally, a little bit of Amazon strength yesterday, actually. Even with the market moving lower, Amazon was moving higher. So an interesting little outperformance on Amazon that I want to point out in today's stream. All right. So that's the schedule. NVIDIA, AMD, Google, Meta, Tesla, Microsoft, Home Depot, Amazon. We'll get into some other names if we have time. So let's get into it. Let's start it out. All right. NASDAQ. Actually, you know what? Let's start with ES. I like to start with the one that I think is driving the market a little more. And I think the ES took a little bit of precedent yesterday on the market. And this is why. This big supply up here around 4170 to 4200. We talked about this level in the live stream yesterday. We talked about it in my video yesterday. Make sure to go watch that. 4170 to 4200 is a big ass level. If we go to the weekly chart, I know this is going to look a little messy because my other lines, but I don't want to delete those at the moment. But you can see in the weekly chart, major previous rejections here. Rejections here back in May of 2022. Rejections here in September of 2022. Rejections in December of 2022. Rejections here in February of 2023. And you guys can see on the daily chart, we are right back at this level. This has to be paid attention to if you are trading on an intraday basis. You have to know that there is a major supply above here, which could absolutely be the thing that causes a little bit of a pullback, right? Where it would be crazy if we just rallied through this level without any type of pullback and any type of consolidation. So 4170, 4200 has to be paid attention to. You can clearly see that on your charts, and you can see the reaction to it yesterday. So be careful going long. Be careful being along into 4170. That is very clear. Be careful being along anywhere in this 4170 to 4200 level. You can see we aggressively pulled back off of it yesterday. Does this continue? Do we try to retest it? That's what we're going to try to answer today. How do we answer that question today? We watch this channel, right? This is the channel that you have to be watching. So let me zoom in on this, if TOS would allow me to. Here we go. It is a pretty clear channel this morning, guys, and a pretty easy little setup here, right? If you don't want to trade in this channel, don't trade in the channel. I think the best opportunities today will be outside of this channel, if we break outside of it, or if we break outside of it tomorrow, or if we break outside of it next week. That's where the best opportunity will come. If we break below yesterday's lows, if we turn yesterday's lows into a rejection today, then I think you are set up for that 4,100 retest. Right? I think that is potentially the retest that the market is waiting to come back to. This is also the level where the market could have its pullback to and then maybe push again. Right? I think this 4,100 retest is something that is necessary on the market as of right now. This also lines up with 13,000 on the NASDAQ, which I'll get to in a second. But this 4,100, which I think is a very clean potential retest level, if we go to the 4-hour chart, right, this 4,100 level is a previous high here. It's a previous high here, previous high here, previous low, previous little high here. I think this 4,100 retest level could be, that nice pullback that you're looking for. That is also, if I go to the hourly chart, it's also right about where we broke out and really had a nice push off of after breaking that 4,100. So if we get downside today, if we break under this channel low, which is yesterday's lows and pre-market lows, I would say you probably look for that 4,100 retest if you break under yesterday's lows. I think that's a very respectable thing to look for. I think it makes a lot of sense in my eyes to look for that break and retest below pre-market lows, yesterday's double bottom lows, right? Double bottom here yesterday and pre-market lows. If you are to break that level, I would expect that slip to 4,100. All right. If you maintain this level today, this 4,117 level, right? If you maintain this level, then maybe you look for that push back into the highs, right? This 41.35 high. That is, if you maintain this level, looks like we just got some data, so we'll see how that affects it in a second. If you maintain this 41.17 level, I would look for that push into 41.35, right? That is yesterday's rejection points. After the big drop to the downside yesterday, we simply could not get back above 41.35. So here is your channel today, right? It is very, very clear. 41.35 to 41.17, yesterday's double bottom lows, yesterday's intraday highs after the big drop. Do we get this, right? Or do we get this? And that is exactly what I'm looking for. These are the most lucrative and probably strongest continuation trades that you would look for today. A break and hold of either side of this channel. If we do not break and hold on either side of this channel today, you are simply going to be looking at a channel trade, right? There's only two options here. You either break the channel or you stay within the channel. So all you have to do is watch how we react at yesterday's lows and how we react if we move up towards yesterday's intraday highs. All right? That's all you have to do. 41.35, 41.17. If you break 41.17 and hold below it, I like 4,100. If you break over 41.35 and hold above it, I like maybe up towards this 41.50, right? So that's really my main watch today. That's sort of the things that I'm going to monitor to set up my trades today. I hope that makes sense to you there on the ES. Yeah, you just got your ADP employment report number. It looks like it is, let's go to the SPY now, might as well, because we're going to do that analysis right now anyway. The SPY ADP non-farm employment change, 145 versus 200,000. So a less than expected employment change, which is, you would say that's bullish, right? The news yesterday was bullish as well, but the market did continue lower, I think because of that major supply above and after a big push. But yeah, I mean, less than expected employment change, smaller than expected, less non-farm employment. You would expect that to be bullish with how the market is as of right now, because less jobs means the Fed's doing its job, Jobs are slowing down. Job market's not as hot. But hey, I'm not going to try to predict how the market moves off these events anymore. All we can simply do is trade the move that we see, right? That's the biggest thing that I've learned since the market has been moved so much by economic events. You really can't try to predict what's going to happen. So we'll see how the market moves off this data. As of right now, looks like a non-event to me, right? Total non-event. So nothing there. All right. So nothing on the ES on this ADP employment. Looks like a non-event at the moment. All right. SPY. So the SPY, pretty much the same type of analysis on the SPY. 409.50 to 410, right? That's a pretty big supply up there. You guys know 410 has been a big level. After we broke 410 yesterday, you guys can see the reaction, right? This was 410 yesterday. 410 attempted to hold on multiple times yesterday. We attempted to hold on early morning right here at 410. We attempted to hold on for quite some time yesterday at 410 as well. So you guys can see, right? Big drop, bounce off 410, tried to maintain 410. After losing 410, that was really it, right? After losing 410, that was really where the market said, hey, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going lower. So today, right, you're not going to go long into 410. You're just not. I will not allow you. You could possibly long off channel lows here. Look for a little scalp off 407 to 410. That's obviously an opportunity. But I am not going to set up any kind of confident longs if the SPY is trading under 410 today. I would much rather just sit on my ass and wait for 410 to break and hold, and then I'm confident, right? I do not need to take this scalp. This is not a scalp that I need to take. Yes, it is a possible scalp, but you are scalping a double bottom low from yesterday right back into a major supply. Not really something I'm interested in today after seeing the weakness yesterday and seeing pretty much no strength this morning either. So 407.50 is yesterday's lows. You can see it right here, 407.50, 407.50. That's a strong demand down there. You can see we're trying to push off of that, and there could be a little demand trade here today back into the 409s, 410s. But for me, that is a major supply up there that I really don't feel like trading into. You guys can see we rejected this level yesterday. We rejected again here yesterday. This was a previous rejection all in here. So this 409, 410 area, just not a level I feel like messing with. So watch out for that supply above. This is what also lines up with the ES at this 41.35, right? This 41.35 on the ES is the same thing as the SPY 409.50 to 410, okay? So watch out for that. To the downside, you got 407.50. That's your demand down below. Again, the easy trade is a break and hold above the channel. That's the easy trade. If you just want to wait for a break and hold of the channel. If you want to get messy in here, if you want to get sweaty in the channel, that's up to you. I don't typically like to get sweaty in these channels. So 410, 407.50. Watch that channel today on the SPY. Those are your levels. On the ES, it's 41.35 and it's 41.17. All right. Let's go to the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ's pushing up a little bit right now. Looks like it's that news is helping a little bit. You can see a little bit of a pop here on the NQ coming in. Channel is pretty much the same on the NQ here. So here's the 15-minute chart on the NQ. You guys can see demand lows around this 13.180, 13.160. Pretty clear, right? This previous low from Monday, very strong demand there. You can see the demand that stepped up at the 3180 or 13,180 yesterday. So 13,160 to 13,180, you can see that demand is stepping in, and we're getting that push higher right now off the ADP. So that demand is not somewhere that you want to short into, right? If you start to see the NASDAQ trading down towards the 200s, towards the 190s, you're not going to want to start to set up shorts here, right? This is a demand that has shown itself over the last 2 days. Please be careful shorting into these levels here, all right? So that's your demand. To the upside, right? To the upside, your channel high right now is around this 13,250. You could even push it up towards like this. If you want to be really cautious, I would push it up towards like this 13,270 because there is definitely some rejections up there as well. So you could potentially, put a level up here as well, up at this previous rejection. You can also look at, this rejection here. So, to the upside, 13,250, 13,270 looks pretty heavy, right? Look at yesterday's action. Look at the rejections that came in yesterday at these levels. If I go to the 5-minute chart, you guys can clearly see this, right? Are you wanting to long into this rejection point? Do you need to hope and pray that the NASDAQ breaks out of this triple top of yesterday, right? We can clearly see yesterday, we broke, we rejected. We broke, we rejected, we broke, we rejected again. The exact same level, 13,250. Do we need to be sweaty? Do we need to long into a triple top rejection from yesterday? No. The simple answer is no. So do not long into this 13,250. Be very careful of that supply. Watch out for 13,270 as well. I think the clean and the long that would make me feel warm and cozy, and not be sweaty in these supply rejection areas would be a break and hold over 13,270, right? This would make sense. If you break over these previous rejections here, if you turn that into a new support, then you could look for that long, right? You do not need to catch the long through supply. Look for the breaks of these rejection points and then see if that turns into a new demand. If the market breaks above, if it holds these levels, watch that 13,270, all right? So keep an eye on that level. That's really the top level that I would be watching. You could also watch this 13,250 as well. You can see the market is rejecting that as we speak. And then to the downside, 13,180, 13,160. All right, those are the levels I'd be watching. Dow Jones, what's the Dow up to lately? I've barely been looking at it. What are we sitting at? We're looking at something big here. Yeah, okay. Looks like we're trading at a pretty big level here on the Dow. We came back below it. Yeah, look at this. So previous low, previous high, 33,600. Yeah, we're trading right back at it. That's interesting. So pullback, 33,560, 33,600. That is a previous... Look at this. So that is a previous low here. You can see right here, 33,550, 33,600, 33,550, 33,600. You move over, right? 33,550, 33,600. And then look at where we're trading as we speak. So that's going to be interesting, right? Does the Dow hold above this level? Does the Dow hold above this 33,500 to 33,600 area? That's going to be a big watch here. So I would say watch the 33,005 lows. That's really what I'd watch, actually. If I go to the 5-minute, see if the Dow can defend this 33.5 today. That's going to be key, right? And then this little channel high at 33.6 area. So yeah, 33,500. That looks like it's going to have to defend, right? If you lose this, then it's the same story, right? If you lose this, you're breaking that channel low. And you're possibly seeing more downside. So that's going to have to hold up for the Dow. Russell, crazy weakness yesterday. Look at these drops on the Russell lately. I mean, that is just nastiness. Look at that drop on Monday, and look at this drop on Tuesday. Look, that is literally vertically down. That's a crazy move on the Russell those last 2 days. And you can see this was simply just a perfect supply rejection of these previous highs. I mean, look at how perfect that is. So previous rejections here into a perfect rejection again. Just textbook stuff, really nice stuff. If you're paying attention to these levels, you can set up some really nice trades. The Russell broke below 1,800, and now the Russell is simply trading again within the channel, just like it was before the breakout. So all that momentum, all that sort of momentum here that got the Russell breaking out of this channel, we've simply lost it all, and we are now simply back within the channel. So again, Russell back in the channel. Now you're watching 1,800 to 1,700 again, right? Look at what it's done in the past, Every time it's pushed into 1800, it's moved down to 17. So watch out for that 1800 supply and watch out for that 1700 demand. But a pretty big momentum shift there for the Russell yesterday. That is a big crack back below that 1800. All right. So that's the futures. ES is slipping. What are we looking at? What are we looking at here? It's pretty much still in the channel, man. Just got to wait to see if it breaks this channel low. That's the key. All right, guys, let's get into some individual stocks. If you guys could take a second, press the like button. Go ahead and do that now. That'd be great. Oh, my goodness. Look at this 270 rejection on NVIDIA right now. Holy crap. All right, that's a very key rejection that just came in there. Anyways, NVIDIA, right? What did NVIDIA do yesterday that really led to this downside? In my eyes, it was the break and hold below 275 to end the day. 275 was a previous rejection right here. Previous rejections at 275, rejection here at 275, and support at 275. Now, yesterday, if we go to the 1-minute chart, look at what NVIDIA did to end the day. To end yesterday's trading day, NVIDIA dropped 275, rejected 275, and stayed below it into close. After the close and into the pre-market this morning, we just could not get back above 275, and that, in my eyes, led to weakness, coupled with the Google news this morning. We dropped straight down through this low volume area on NVIDIA, right? There was little to no support between 275 and 270. This is a previous double top high right here at 270, which we are now, as we speak, rejecting, right? We are now rejecting 270, which is this previous high. So pretty clean there, right? If NVIDIA stays below 270 today, I will definitely be looking for downside continuation. If the market breaks that channel low and NVIDIA is trading under 270, I will absolutely be looking for downside continuation here on NVIDIA. Under 270, if we stay below that 270, I do not think there is much support here until this 264, right? Previous rejection, previous support, previous support here, right? I do not see much support until this 264. I think that is very possible if NVIDIA stays below, right? And this is the key. If NVIDIA stays below 270. If NVIDIA regains 270, that trade is no longer there. If NVIDIA stays below 270, that trade is definitely alive and something I am watching. So keep an eye on 270 today on NVIDIA. This is going to be very, very key and potentially a very nice setup. All right. Did we get any movement off the, did we get 8:30 news? I don't think so, right? What did we have again? The imports, importing the trade balance. Yeah, I don't really think it's going to move the market here, guys. U.S. imports, geez. Why is that such a big discrepancy? The U.S. imports is terrible. I mean, I guess I don't know if that's a good thing. I'm not an imports exports expert here, guys. I'm not an economist over here. I'm a technical analysis type of guy. But U.S. imports 64 billion versus 319 billion estimated. A very, very drastic difference in the estimated U.S. imports. Looks like the market is reacting a little bit negatively to that as we speak. All right. ES, yeah, that NVIDIA trade is definitely an interest here, guys. That 270 rejection is going to be pretty interesting to me. All right, NVIDIA, now AMD. This one looks just as good in my eyes today. AMD looking pretty damn weak. Right here, you guys can see we have an AMD that broke under 96. Now, let me delete this level for now, and I'll show you why that's there. But that 96, you guys know I've been hawking that 96 level almost every day on this live stream. Yesterday, we broke below 96. We turned it into a rejection. This is the same thing that NVIDIA did, right? We broke below a key level. We could not get back above it. 96. Downside is coming in, right? Oh, there's a correction. Okay. Yeah, I figured that was wrong. Anyways, 96 downside. You can see that 96. We stayed below it. Now look at what we're doing right now. Look at what we're doing as we speak. I'm going to go to the 5-day 5-minute or the 5-day 15-minute. Actually, let me get a little bit more time here. As we speak, we just broke below the Monday lows, right? You can see right here this 94.85 level, 95 level, which was a previous double bottom from Monday. Look at what we just did here, right? We just had this double bottom from Monday, which we have just broken below. So if AMD does a little retest of Monday's lows for you today, right, that could be a sexy trade. So watch Monday's lows on AMD. Watch it below Monday's lows. See if it stays below it today. If it does, right, if AMD stays below Monday's lows, there is not any support in my eyes here until 93, right? There's not support here until 93 on AMD. And if you break 93, right? If you break 93, let me show you something here. You probably already know what I'm looking at. I hope you do. If you do, you're smart and you're paying attention. Look at under 93. Look at this move right here. See that? If we are to break under 93, this is going to be a pretty nasty drop to 90, right? You can see there is no volume here. So watching yesterday's lows, if AMD stays below yesterday's lows, I'm definitely targeting that 93 here. That's definitely something I'll be eyeing if the market does continue to the downside. And if it does, that 93, if we break 93, I'm definitely going to target this 90, right? And AMD, we can clearly see, has been heavy for the last few weeks. Look at this volume decline. Look at this volume decline. Look at the bottom, right? Look at the decline in volume here. This definitely looks like it's ready for something. I'm going to watch this today for sure. All right, these chip stocks are definitely going to be the ones that I look to target today. So AMD under 94.80, 95, definitely interesting there. All right. So here's the culprit of the semiconductor weakness this morning, AMD NVIDIA weakness, and that is Google. Google came out with some news. I don't know who came out with it. I think Barron's published it. It says that Google's owner, Alphabet, says its chips can beat NVIDIA. It says chips for training AI systems can be faster and more power efficient than the rival NVIDIA chip currently powering the industry. So, right, that is an interesting little thing that came out for Google. Now, yes, it's up in the pre-market. You guys can see right here. Look at this rally pre-market. Where is Google trading at? Google is trading at a major supply right here, right? So rejections, 107. To go long Google today, if you think Google continues higher, you need to see 107 turn into a support. If you do not break over 107, right? If you do not break over 107, you need to be cautious of going long Google. You need to get over 107. Maybe you even give it 107.50 if you want to be really cautious, right? That high right here, that 107.50 wick high. But in my eyes, you need to see 107 turn into a strong demand, right? And see if it moves higher above 107, holds it, right? And maybe there's continuation there. Yeah, good point there. Good point there, Ryan. Thank you for pointing that out. 108, right? Yeah, even 108. So, yeah, that's a tough one. I would agree, right? I would maybe even just, if you really want to play it safe, I would put a zone from 107 to 108, and I would wait for 108 to break. If you don't like to get caught in supply rejections, which I hate, right? I hate thinking that I can trade some. I've done this in the past, and I still do it sometimes, right? Sometimes it catches me off guard. If I go long something and I'm not really being as cautious as I should be, and I'm sort of trading on the edge, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this can break, and then this thing just reverses off supply. Those are the trades that piss me off more than anything, because those are trades that we can avoid. Those are losses that are avoidable. The losses that are easily avoidable by paying attention to technical levels are the ones that irk me the most. And so on a trade like this, I probably would want to wait for the 108 at this point after you guys pointed it out. I appreciate that. So you can see that 108, right? I'd probably want to wait for that 108 to turn into a demand. We got to be careful up into this area. So good call out there, guys. Thank you for pointing that out. I missed that one this morning. I was sort of focused on the short term. So yeah, 107, 108. Watch that. Keep an eye on that. Why not scalp it from 106 to 108? I mean, I just wouldn't want to scalp into a supply. I'm not looking to scalp into the rejection point or scalp into a demand, right? I want to catch the move that no one's or I guess the people that are paying attention are expecting, right? I want to catch the supply rejection into demand, right? I want to be as close to that rejection point as possible, right? If you scalp from 106 into 108 or 107, right? This is your risk reward. Your risk reward is inversed. You do not need this risk reward. Right? Your risk reward is, I'm not going to draw it out right now, but your risk reward, if you are trying to scalp, let me do this. Let me make sense of this here. All right, let's say this is your channel. I did this in a previous live stream, and I'll do it again. If this is your channel, right? I want to be in a trade here or here for the channel reversal. I do not want to be in a trade in this zone. Very bright, very in your face, right? I want to be short here and I want to be long here. I do not want to try to long here into this. I do not want to try to short here into demand. And I definitely don't want to be in a trade in the middle because who the hell knows what happens in the middle, right? If I'm looking for risk-reward trades, if I'm looking for my wins to be larger than my losses, I need to trade the channel if it's a channel trade, and I need to respect that I need to be in the trade close as possible to the rejection point or the demand zone, right? I need to be in as close to the supply or as close as the demand to set up a good risk reward. Now, whether that works out or not, right? There's never 100% certainty that a supply will reject or a demand will bounce. But if you're wrong, at least you are losing a small amount. If you are long here and you are wrong, you are losing a lot of money. If you are short here and this thing demand bounces on you, you are losing a lot of money. If you are short here and you're wrong, you lose small amount. If you are long here and you lose, and it goes down, you lose a small amount. Trade the channel, trade the demand and supply, right? That is the same thing that we talked about all the time. Clearly supply up here. If Google rejects, right, you get a nice trade in your favor. If it bounces against you, you stop out over 107 and you take a small loss, right? You have to pay attention to risk to reward when you are trading. That is the only way to be profitable. If your losses are bigger than your wins, you are not profitable. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else out there, right? That's like the golden rule. If you are taking larger losses than your wins, it is going to be almost impossible for you to be a profitable trader. So, and how do you pay attention to that? You pay attention to risk reward. All right, Meta. Meta just continues to rally here, but Meta, watch out for this 216 today, right? Watch out for this 216. This is going to be a big level. If you want to see more upside, you have to get over 216. What has Meta done for the last few weeks? Meta has just broken and retested the previous day highs for like an entire week now. So you guys can see, right? We got above this 208. I call this the stair step, right? Meta has just been stair stepping, right? We stair stepped above 208. We came back to it. We held. We stair stepped above the previous high around 212. We came back to it. We held. So what do you need to see for more upside on Meta? You need to see that next stair step, right? You need to get above 216. You need to see the pullback to 216, and then you can look to long here, right? You have to see the stair step continue to move. Once that stair step stops, right? If one of these highs stops and Meta falls below the stairs, right, which is now 212, if we fall below that stair step now, right, things change, right? The momentum changes. Now you're falling down the stairs, right? Now you're falling down the stairs. As of right now, you are holding above, right? Stair here, break and hold, break and hold. So what happens today? Do you get another break and another hold, or do you lose the stair? That's what you're watching today. So 212 to 216, that's your channel to watch. All right. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla, this looks still very weak in my eyes, Tesla here. So Tesla has some pretty major supply here around this 194, 194.50. This is a previous high right here, right? Previous low right here, previous rejections right here. This 194.50 level, you can see we popped into it and rejected. So what are we looking for today, right? What are we looking for today? We are looking for rejections at 194, 194.50. We're looking at demand at 190.5. If we break yesterday's lows, what are we looking for? Break and retest. Very nice to the downside, right? I hope you guys are... I don't want to take too much time explaining this because this is pretty much self-explanatory at this point. If you come to my live streams, you should absolutely understand what I'm talking about here. Yesterday's lows, break and retest below it, and you got yourself that trade towards that 156. So break and retest of either side, 194.50, 190.50, right? Watch that channel on Tesla today. Microsoft. I am very interested in this. It's on a weekly chart and it's on a daily chart. This could be a pretty big trade if you are right, and if you are wrong, it's a small loss, right? Risk reward is absolutely here. Here's your risk to reward on this trade. If you short, you stop out maybe over this 290, right? Let's just say you stop out over 290. If you are right and this market does pull back, maybe you get this back down to these lows around 2. I mean, it's a big if, right? That's a big weekly chart. But there is very clearly risk reward here. Major weekly chart supply, right? Supply here, and we're trading right at it again. 4 hour, let's go daily chart. If I go out to the 4 year, 1 hour, or sorry, 1 day, one daily chart, you guys can see right here, all right? Big time rejections at 290, big time rejections at 290, and look at where we're trading right now. So definitely interested, right? I'm not in this trade yet, but I probably will end up looking for it. If we start to show rejections at this 290, I think the risk reward is just simply too good not to take a shot here. I'm definitely going to be watching this Microsoft 290 level. Home Depot, big rejection of 300. I think you guys pointed out that this was the 200 SMA yesterday, which I believe you are correct about. Yes, it is. You guys can see right here. We talked about that 300 push. We said if Home Depot can get above 300, this could rally through to 310. Look at what happened at 300 yesterday. And this is a great example, right, of waiting for your trade confirmation to trigger. And so yesterday, right, market opened. I'll tell you a little story. Market opened, messages were flowing in the chat. We were calling out things, looking for stuff. And I kept on seeing people call out Home Depot, Home Depot, Home Depot, Home Depot. Look at Home Depot. We never got above 300. And I hope I hope for the people that pointed that out, I don't know if they entered the trade or not, but I hope that you waited for the 300 confirmation. Because if you did not, and you just said, I am getting in Home Depot, this thing's going up in the morning, I'm feeling real confident it's going to break out of supply. Before it actually breaks supply, I'm going to get in before, and I'm going to hope and pray that it breaks above. You can see the result of doing that type of trading. You never got above 300. You never got above the 200 SMA. The trade never set up. And this goes back to being patient. This goes back to using levels as confirmation. This goes back to understanding what you need to happen for the trade to set up, not just getting in because you get a false sense of confidence because you see a stock going up, right? This was a supply level we talked about. We said it has to get above 300. If it does not get above 300, you cannot enter this trade. And you can see this was multiple rejections at 300 in the past and big rejection of it again. So Great example of how you need to wait for your rejection levels or your supply levels to break before taking an entry point. All right, Amazon. This is an interesting one today. I would watch this, right? You can see we have a previous high at this 103.50, previous high at this 103.50. Look at what Amazon's doing this morning. It is maintaining above that 103.50, right? So watch out for that 103.50. If Amazon maintains above it, right? If Amazon maintains above it, previous high. If we maintain above that, watch out for maybe continuation to the upside off that 103.50. On the 4-hour chart, right, there's really not much here on Amazon. So this is an interesting break. This is an interesting break above 103.50. I would sort of monitor that, see if there's more strength in this one above 103.50. All right. That is the tickers that I had. Let's take a quick look at the ES real quick. Let's see what's going on over here. So we just bounced off that channel low again. So let's see what happens there on that channel low. Look at what happened, right? A little bit of a bounce off of it. 1,600 people, 600 likes, 400 more likes, and we hit our goal. If you guys could press that like button for me, that would be appreciated. Just go ahead and scroll down, press the like button. If you're on mobile, hide the chat, and that like button will appear for you. Today, JPM, ExxonMobil, Wells Fargo, Apple. All right, let's do it. That's the only ones I'm doing. You got to get them in here before I look at this if you want me to look at some tickers. JPM, XOM, Wells Fargo, and Apple. Let's do it. All right, JPM, a little bit of downside on the financials this morning. Yeah, and JPM never broke that supply. Look at that, right? Look at that. It's just supply and demand, my friends, right? One day it'll catch on, I promise. All right, just look at that. Just another supply rejection. If you set up some shorts and you said, hey, look at JPM, it's moving up into this previous rejection point, this nice supply, right? We're starting to trade into it. I like the risk reward here. I'm not scared to lose a small amount of money. If I go short up here at 131, that's my risk, right? If I go short, my rewards may be back to the channel low. You cannot be scared to take a trade like this. All right, you cannot be scared to take a trade with risk reward like this. This is a quality trade, a trade that no one is going to make fun of you for taking, that no one's going to think that you're an idiot for taking. This is simply a good risk to reward trade that you have to take, right? You have to take those risks. And so this was a really nice little rejection, right? If you're watching JPM slide into it, you say, hey, look at this little double top supply rejection. I like this for maybe some downside. I like my risk reward. If I'm wrong, I stop out over this 132. If I'm right, I trade this thing back down to this 123, right? And there you go. So yeah, looks like it's going to move lower, maybe back into that demand low. That's what I'd watch. Watch that 200 SMA. I did not skip Tesla. XOM. Yeah, energy's been pretty hot, but I'm a little weird. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to be the one chasing this energy move right now. It's too late, right? If you miss the energy move, it's too late, right? You're not chasing. If you chase this, I don't know what to tell you. If you took XOM off the 200 SMA, you killed it, right? If you were watching the market, if you were watching the stock move back to the 200, if you were one of the traders that caught the 200 SMA bounce, those are the people that killed it, right? Please remember this. All right, please remember this. The people that make money in the market are the ones that are in here. That are in at the 200 SMA here, right? The ones that lose in the market are the ones that chase the big move, right? You have to look, all right? When you see a stock move up like this, personally for me, this is what comes into my head. When I see this push on XOM, I instantly look away. I have no interest in this. It's clearly the entry point was at the 200 SMA. It was at the double bottom demand, right? You can see we had previous demand here. Demand stepped up again. We held the 200 SMA. The entry point was as we were pushing off that 200. The entry point is no longer valid, right? If you're looking for upside continuation at highs, at pretty much all-time highs on XOM, it's just not going to work out for you. So, no, right? Stay away from XOM here. It might continue higher, right? Very possible. Maybe it continues to rally. But at this point, I would not be a buyer of XOM. You have to be back in at that demand. Now you're at the supply, right? Now you are at the supply. And if you go long into supply, more times than not, it's not going to work out for you. So, yeah, no, I don't really want to chase this XOM move, personally. Wells Fargo. I mean, if the banks get more downside, you might be able to catch something, right? If you take a look at the XLF, watch that XLF. If XLF continues lower, right, maybe if you can lose like this 36 level, but I don't know. I don't really know Wells Fargo. I don't think Wells Fargo is a stock that I would recommend to trade on a daily basis. I don't think it's very liquid, right? You can see by the candles, it's pretty illiquid. I don't know. I mean, if you want to catch more bank downside, you could watch it. That's really what your game plan would be. If you're trying to see if banks continue lower, I think you're better off just trying to trade the XLF. The XLF is holding a demand here, which I don't know if I would be short into, right? I don't know if I would be short banks into this XLF demand at 30, personally. Okay. Last one I got for you is Apple. Apple, here's what you're watching on Apple today. 165 to 165.85 right here. Right? Very clear supply demand on Apple. You guys can see it right here. Supply 165.85, demand 165. If you break under 165, I'd look for downside continuation. That's all I got for you. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the day. Thank you guys for being here. Please press that like button for me if you could. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Good luck out there. Focus on supply demand. Focus on your risk to reward. Every trade that you take, ask yourself before you take it, what's my risk to reward? Where's my stop loss? Am I shorting into demand? Am I buying into supply? Focus on these levels. If you're really paying attention, right? If you're really paying attention to the whole picture, where's the ES? Where's the NASDAQ? Where's the supply? Where's the demand? What's my risk to reward? If you really start to formulate these things and you really put in an effort, I promise you can improve your trading. It takes time. It takes perseverance. It takes conviction. It takes sitting on your screen more than you probably like. But if this is something that you want, you truly want, then you can do it, right? If you truly want this, you can do it. But a lot of people don't truly want it. You have to ask yourself, do you truly want to trade? Because a lot of people just trade because they want to make money. That is simply not going to work, right? You need to trade because you need to love this. And if you don't do this on a daily basis, then it's probably hard to love it. If you don't like to do it on a daily basis, you probably don't love it. So make sure to be honest with yourself, right? That's very important. Do you love trading? If you do, I hope I can help you along the way. I hope you enjoy the live streams. I hope they help you. And, yeah, good luck. God, I'm Dre. Thank you, man. $19.99. I appreciate that, my friend. I'm going to go buy myself some lunch. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Have a fantastic day. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you again. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.
Wow.